Okay, then it's fine. Yeah. Jamubhai, how are you?
We went to hear Swami.
Yes, are you?
Which mic you starting with? No, Nirma, is that thing off? How did you want to transmit? Yeah, it's already on. Okay, but I'm a wife. You're not in the mic. No, that's for a video they're gonna do.
To sing Thaar, so we might have to stop one night from here to the floor for us.
Sri Swaminarayan Bhagwan Ki Jai. Akshar Purushottam Maharaj Ki Jai. Radha Krishna Deva Ki Jai. Shri Ramachandra Bhagwan स्वामी नारायण 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 स्वामी नारायण नारायण नारायण
Namaste, Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Swami Narayan. Pujya Tyarmurti Das Swami, Pujya Dharmasetu Das Swami, executives and committee members of BAPS Swami Narayan Santha of Durban and Shri Surit Arya Bhajan Mandal, dear devotees, a very warm Durban welcome to one and all on this rather chilly afternoon. Thank you all for joining us to pay tribute to Gurudev Pramukh Swami Maharaj on his centenary birth celebration. Our connection to BAPS Durban goes back many, many years. I think long before I've actually gotten involved with Saptah Mandir. And we were indeed honored to be part of this celebration along with the Swami Narayan movement. More importantly, though, is to remember that during the 1980s, prior to having begun construction of the temple here, on a visit to Durban, Pujya Pramukh Swami Maharaj came to this site along with some of our executives and gave us his blessings and blessed the site on the fulfillment of this temple precinct project. So it is only fitting that we ourselves take this opportunity to pay tribute to a unique individual who has had an impact on religious organizations globally. We are joined today by Pujya Tyagmurti Das Swami and Pujya Dharmasetu Das Swami. Pujya Tyagmurti Das Swami received Diksha from Pujya Pramukh Swami Maharaj in 1985. He currently serves at the Mandir in Mumbai. He has been a stalwart in performing austerities and has supported from behind the scenes where he has served. Pujya Dharmasetu Das Swami hails from New York in USA and is a biomedical engineer. He has received Diksha from Pujya Pramukh Swami Maharaj in 2009 in Sarangpur. He is currently residing in Sarangpur, completing his higher studies in Sanskrit. We will begin now with the Bhajan program conducted by Pujya Tyagmurti Das Swami.
संत परमहितकारी जगत माहि संत परमहितकारी संत परमहितकारी जगत माहि संत परमहितकारी प्रभुपद प्रगट करावत प्रीति भरम मिटावत भारी, प्रभु पद प्रगट करावत प्रीति, भरम मिटावत भारी, जगत माही संत परम हितकारी। संत परम हितकारी, जगत माही संत परम हितकारी। त्रिगुणातीत फिरत तनु त्यागी, त्रिगुणातीत फिरत तनु त्यागी, रीत जगत से न्यारी, रीत जगत से न्यारी, जगत माही संत परम हितकारी। संत परम हितकारी, जगत माही संत परम हितकारी। ब्रह्मानंद कहे संत की सोबत, ब्रह्मानंद कहे संत की सोबत, मिलता है प्रगट मुरारी, मिलता है प्रगट मुरारी, जगत माही संत परम हितकारी। संत परम हितकारी, जगत माही संत परम हितकारी। प्रभु पद प्रगट करावत प्रीति, प्रभु पद प्रगट करावत प्रीति, परम मिटावत भारी, भरम मिटावत भारी, जगत माही संत परम हितकारी। संत परम हितकारी, संत परम हितकारी। हरि नहीं बजता हजू कोई नीराज, जता नथी जाने रे। हरि नहीं बजता हजू कोई नी लाज, જતા નથી જાણી રે. જેની સુરતા શામળિયાની સાથ વધે વેદવાણી રે. જેની સુરતા શામળિયાની સાથ વધે વેદવાણી રે. હરિને ભજતા હજી કોઈની લાજ જતા નથી જાણી રે. વાલે ઉગાર્યો પ્રહલાદ હિરણ્યકશ્યપ માર્યો રે. વાલે ઉગાર્યો પ્રહલાદ હિરણ્યકશ્યપ માર્યો રે. વિભીષણને આપ્યો રાજ રાવણને સંહાર્યો રે. વિભીષણને આપ્યો રાજ રાવણને સંહાર્યો રે. હરિને ભજતા હજુ કોઈની લાજ જતા નથી જાણી રે. વાલે નરસિંહ મહેતાને હાર હાથો હાથ આપ્યો રે. વાલે નરસિંહ મહેતાને હાર હાથો હાથ આપ્યો રે. ધ્રુવને આપ્યું અવિચળ રાજ પોતાનો કર સાપ્યો રે. ધ્રુવને આપ્યું અવિચળ રાજ પોતાનો કર સાપ્યો રે. હરિને ભજતા હજુ કોઈની લાજ જતા નથી જાણી રે. વાલે મીરા તે બાઈના ઝેર હડાહડ પીધા રે. વાલે મીરા તે બાઈના ઝેર હડાહડ પીધા રે. પાંચાળીના પૂર્યા ચીર પાંડવ કામ કીધા રે. પંચાળીના પૂર્યા ચીર પાંડવ કામ કીધા રે. હરિને ભજતા હજુ કોઈની લાજ જતા નથી જાણી રે. આવો હરિ ભજવાનો લાવો ભજન કોઈ કરશે રે. આવો હરિ ભજવાનો લાવો ભજન કોઈ કરશે રે. કર જોડી કહે પ્રેમળદાસ ભક્તોના દુઃખ હરશે રે. કર જોડી કહે પ્રેમળદાસ ભક્તોના દુઃખ હરશે રે. હરિને ભજતા હજુ કોઈની લાજ જતા નથી જાણી રે. જેની સુરતા શામળિયાની સાત વદે વેદવાણી રે જેની સુરતા શામળિયાની સાત વદે વેદવાણી રે હરિને ભજતા હજુ કોઈની લાજ જતા નથી જાણી રે હરિને ભજતા હજુ કોઈની લાજ જતા નથી જાણી રે હરિને ભજતા હજુ કોઈની લાજ જતા નથી જાણી રે.
I'd now like to call upon Prakash Bhai Dulab to deliver an address.
जय स्वामीनारायण. माननीय पूज्य धर्म सेतु दास स्वामी, पूज्य त्यागमूर्ति दास स्वामी, अन्य संस्थाना प्रमुखों अने अधिकारीओ, वडीलो તેમજ સજ્જનો અને દેવીઓ, તુલસીદાસજીએ રામચરિત માનસમાં બહુ જ સુંદર વાત કહી છે. गिरिजा संत समागम समन लाभ कछुआन रामा कमन लाज सबुआन बिनु हरि कृपा न हो सो गावहि वेद पुराण सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय. In that doha, Bhagwan Shivji explains to Mother Parvati that there is no greater event in one's life than meeting with a saint or sage, but that is only possible by the will and grace of God. There's a saying that goes, if the fear of failure is greater than the determination to succeed, don't start. This, in my view, was Gurudev Pramukh Swami Maharaj's secret motto, because he has never failed in any of his endeavors, because his determination to succeed was greater than his fear of failure. And that is the lesson we ought to take and follow. I have yet to come across a human being in my lifetime who has accomplished so much during his lifetime. There are hundreds of mandirs in terms of design, construction, and operation, including Hindu way of life teachings, that he has inspired under the BAPS banner throughout the world, not just South Africa or India for that matter. Today, it is an absolute honor and privilege for me, on behalf of Saptah Mandir, to address the special Sabha to pay tribute to Gurudev Pramukh Swami Maharaj on his birth centenary celebrations. Bless you, Swamiji. Bearing in mind, I had first-hand and direct interactions with him and his association with Saptah Mandir. Our association with BAPS Swaminarayan SANSTHA in Durban, as Sunil Bhai said, can be traced back to the mid-80s, when we were first approached by two senior members of our community, namely late Urmila Ben Patel and Ranchod Bhai Patel. They met the then Saptah Mandir's executive committee and expressed their wish to commence an interest group. The key word here is an interest group. It wasn't a mandal or anything. They requested permission to use Saptah Mandir once a week, which at the time, as you all know here, was in the Viennac building in Prince Edward Street. The permission was unanimously supported and granted by the executive. To the best of my knowledge, that was the humble beginning of the SANSTHA in Durban. As time progressed, the number of people living in the city started to dwindle. And the search was on by Saptah Mandir and many other organizations to find an appropriate vacant site elsewhere to erect a standalone mandir. However, this became an impossible task, and on a trip to South Africa in the early 90s by Gurudev Pramukh Swami Maharaj, a meeting was arranged, and we canvassed his views on various sites in Reservoir Hills, bearing in mind then, and still to date, we do not have a spiritual head or an inspirer at Saptah Mandir. Hence, we thought it appropriate for us to get his guidance, seeing the SANSTHA was born at our mandir. So after showing Gurudev Pramukh Swami Maharaj various sites in Middlemas Crescent and Juba Place, etc. in Reservoir Hills, he turned down every site we showed him. And he said, what we need is a site on the main road, which was Mountbatten Drive in Reservoir Hills. Now the reason why Gurudev Pramukh Swami Maharaj was fond of Reservoir Hills was because the area and immediate vicinity has a large Hindu population. It was a miracle when, not long after he left, we were contacted by the then City Council of Durban and were offered the site where Saptah Mandir is currently located, where you're. Trust me, the site was absolutely steep, and those of you who know the site will know it was almost 25 to 30 meters below road level. So we decided to accept same and patiently await Swamiji's next trip to Durban. Now in the late 90s, by sheer coincidence, luck, whatever you want to have it, there was an impromptu visit by Pramukh Swami Maharaj, and I received a call by Ketan Bhai Patel, and he's still sitting here in the audience. He said, listen, Swamiji want to meet us to view the site. I can still remember Ketan Bhai's Mercedes Benz had a registration ND 1980, in which Ketan Bhai arrived with him. Now, unbeknown to us, Swamiji had asked Ketan Bhai to purchase a bouquet of flowers on his way to site. Swamiji then met the executives of our mandir, and Kanaya Bhai is sitting right here, and there's Dhirubhai Vallabh, who was witness to the whole thing, sitting right here. And we said to him, I said, Swamiji, I have one concern, and that is the site is very, very steep. And all he said was, "Tame chinta na karo. The site and the location are both correct. It will take time, there will be challenges, but he was confident that the mandir and multi-purpose areas below will be developed in time." I can still remember he threw flower petals and blessed the site. His parting words to us were to keep going despite any challenges we may face, and to ensure that the mandir was located above road level despite any cost challenges, as these costs over time will be correctly amortized. In August 2005, it's hard to believe, that is some 17 years ago, Saptah Mandir opened its doors in Reservoir Hills as per Swamiji's vision, and that is above road level. The rest is history, as the site currently stands is developed as per his vision and recommendations. Today, it is my view that due to Gurudev Pramukh Swami Maharaj's vision, guidance, and moral support, Saptah Mandir serves the Gujarati and wider Hindu community by hosting various religious events and functions, thereby keeping the Hindu culture and religion alive for generations to come. I would now like to conclude with the words of Vyas Muni, which in my view aptly and correctly encapsulates the life and teachings of Gurudev Pramukh Swami Maharaj. Antma Swargiya Bapaye emni puri jindagi પરમારથ માટે ખર્ચી નાખી હતી. તો વ્યાસજીના શબ્દોથી હું એમને સન્માનિત કરું છું. 18 પુરાણોના સાર વેદ વ્યાસજીએ ફક્ત 2 જ લીટીમાં તરાવ્યો છે. અષ્ટદશા પુરાણેષુ વ્યાસસ્ય વચનધ્યાયમ પરોપકાર પુણ્યાય પાપાય પરપીડનમ. એનો અર્થ પરોપકાર સમાન બીજાનું ભલું કરવા એના જેવું કોઈ પુણ્ય નથી, અને બીજાને દુઃખ દેવું એનાથી મોટું કંઈ પાપ નથી. In essence, there is no greater blessing than to assist the underprivileged, and there is no greater sin than causing pain to another. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Jai Swaminarayan.
Thank you, Prakash Bhai, for that really wonderful tribute. We'll now have a video on Pramukh Swami Maharaj's activities and BAPS activities. We'll look at the screen there.
In the joy of others lies our own. In the good of others rests our own. And in the progress of others abides our own. This was the life ethos of His Holiness Pramukh Swami Maharaj, the ethos by which he lived every moment of his life. Pramukh Swami Maharaj, a divine and caring personality whom countless people throughout the world were attached with immense love and respect. Where distinctions between caste and creed were dissolved, where barriers between the affluent and the needy were broken, where a harmonious bridge between religions was created, where differences between the simple and the sophisticated were erased. He envisioned and he lived in a world without borders. His Holiness Pramukh Swami Maharaj, a spiritual and cultural visionary who had given so much to so many. He spread Indian culture across the world by creating over 1,200 mandirs like the Neasden Temple and cultural complexes such as the NARAYAN Akshardhams. While remaining engrossed in devotion, he has comforted countless people by traveling to over 52 countries, visiting more than 17,000 villages, sanctifying more than 250,000 homes. He counseled hundreds and thousands of people by reading and replying to more than 700,000 letters. Pramukh Swami Maharaj, a caring and giving personality who showered his blessings upon all, the needy and the affluent, the young and the old. Everyone was touched by his selfless love. Pramukh Swami Maharaj, an inspirational leader who has helped create a society filled with character and righteousness by inspiring people through thousands of assemblies for children, young people and adults across the world. Who has created a happier and healthier society by freeing hundreds of thousands of people from vices and addictions. Who has uplifted the lives of countless students by creating schools that offer value-based education. Pramukh Swami Maharaj, a spiritual luminaire who has increased the pride of the Hindu tradition of sadhus by inspiring over 1,000 well-educated youths to tread the path of renunciation. Pramukh Swami Maharaj, a compassionate soul who helped those affected by natural disasters, from earthquakes, tsunamis and storms. He gave their lives new hope. A person who worried about the health and well-being of those in society by providing hospitals and medical facilities. Pramukh Swami Maharaj, a promoter of peace, who answered the turmoils of society with prayers, forgiveness and compassion. Swami Pramukh Swami Maharaj, a humble person who was always above honor, insult, pride and prejudice. Pramukh Swami Maharaj, a spiritual soul who never forgot God, even amidst countless activities. Pramukh Swami Maharaj, who dedicated his entire life to the joy and progress of others until his last breath at the age of 95. Who lived according to the credo, in the joy of others lies our own, in the good of others rests our own, and in the progress of others abides our own. Today, we bow in reverence at the feet of His Holiness, Pramukh Swami Maharaj.
Thank you. We will now have our address by Pujya Dharmasetu Das Swami. Thank you.
गुणातीतोऽक्षरं ब्रह्म भगवान् पुरुषोत्तमः जनो जानन्निदं सत्यं मुच्यते भवबन्धनात्। श्री स्वामीनारायण भगवान की जय। अक्षर पुरुषोत्तम महाराज की जय। श्री राधा कृष्ण देवनी जय। श्री सियावर रामचंद्र भगवानी जय। श्री उमापति महादेवनी जय। गुणातीतानंद स्वामी महाराजनी जय। भगत जी महाराजनी जय। शास्त्री जी महाराजनी जय। योगी जी महाराजनी जय। प्रमुख स्वामी महाराजनी जय। महंत स्वामी महाराजनी जय। प्रमुख स्वामी महाराज शताब्दी महोत्सवनी जय। सर्वने जय स्वामिनारायण, जय Shri Krishna. First, I would like to thank the members of the Saptah Mandir. We have Sunil Bhai, Prakash Bhai, the Pujari Kanaya Bhai, and all the others for inviting us and hosting this event. And second, I'd like to thank everyone else for taking out their time and coming to this assembly. Because as we know and as we experience here in Africa, everyone is very busy. And on the weekends, especially on a Sunday, people are busier. But to take out time and come to this assembly, and we thank everyone. And coming together is very important. Because when we come together, our faith and unity strengthen, and our pride increases. Our pride of who we are as Hindus. Our pride of where we've come from, the sacred land of India, a land of spirituality, a land that has gifted the world with timeless texts, the Veds, Upanishads, the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the Sri Bhagavad Puran, the 18 Purans. And all these texts are universal. Every text has the power to give every single human being everlasting peace, everlasting happiness. Every shloka and every mantra of all our texts has the power to bring the entire world together, to bring world peace. And it's all been born from India. India is a land of divine incarnations. The birthplace of Maryada Purushottam Shri Ram Bhagwan, whose life is an inspiration to millions. How to be an ideal devotee, how to be an ideal son, how to be an ideal husband, an ideal brother. The birthplace of Krishna Bhagwan, who is worshipped by millions all around the world, and whose murti is consecrated in hundreds of thousands of mandirs. India is a birthplace of Parabrahm Bhagwan Swaminarayan. He came on this earth in 1781 and gifted the world with a Vedic doctrinal philosophy, the Akshara Purushottam Siddhant, the essence of all the scriptures. India is also a land of sages and sadhus. For the past thousands of years, these santos have guided humanity with their life and teachings. That's why it said, Ki sant na ho to jali jat brahman. If it wasn't for these great santos in the Hindu tradition, the universe wouldn't even be able to exist. They sustained the world. They sustained dharma. And amongst those santos was Param Puja Pramukh Swami Maharaj, whose centennial birth celebrations we're celebrating this year. Now, Pramukh Swami Maharaj, if we look at him from a worldly point of view, he only studied 6 books. His Gujarati was very simple. His Hindi is what we call Baba Hindi. It's adding hey to at the end of every Gujarati sentence. That was his Hindi. He didn't know English. He didn't have any other formal education, no degree, nothing. But yet, you look at Pramukh Swami Maharaj, a true sadhu, the personification of every characteristic of a sadhu that is written in our scriptures. Pramukh Swami Maharaj transformed and guided hundreds of thousands of people, inspired millions of people. And his life and work are still remembered even to this day and will forever be remembered. And this mandir is an expression of his life and work. And that's why our relationship is even more profound and even more special. Because as we heard and as Sunil Bhai and Prakash Bhai said, we didn't know, but we just found out that Pramukh Swami Maharaj blessed the land of this mandir. He sanctified the land and showered flower petals So we don't just possess a relationship, we're one. We're one mandir and we're one family. But the life and work of Pramukh Sahib Maharaj will forever be remembered. Pramukh Sahib Maharaj was a person who transcended all borders, all boundaries, all differences. He wasn't just the president of the BAPS Swaminarayan SANSTHA. He wasn't a guru who didn't just belong to the Swaminarayan Hindu community. He was a universal personality. He belonged to the entire world. He belonged to Hindus. He belonged to Muslims, to Christians, to the Jewish. He even belonged to atheists, people who don't even believe in God. And why is that? Because he lived according to his words. In the joy of others lies our own. And when a person lives by this sentiment, he transcends everything. Every moment of Pramukh Swami Maharaj was a pure reflection of this sentiment. And we can see in every page of his biography. For example, his Vichran, his travels. Now, Pujya Vivek Sagar Swami, a senior sant of the BAPS Swaminarayan community, he was with Pramukh Swami Maharaj for 40 years, 4 consecutive decades. And he just came recently. Oh, he was probably here. Yes, definitely. He was here. He was Pramukh Swami Maharaj's constant companion. He not only just witnessed, he personally experienced all the hardships that Pramukh Swami Maharaj experienced. But even Vivek Sagar Swami says that future generations, they'll hardly even believe that one person in flesh and blood can travel so much and tolerate so many difficulties. Ek kalpna j raise. It'll be in part of imagination. And we can see, for more than 30 years straight, non-stop, Mahan Singh Maharaj said, not a single holiday, not one day off, not 1 second break, he traveled. And there were countless incidents. In one day, he would travel to more than 10 villages. In 1973, from the village Nandesari to Gondal, a village in Atladra, he traveled to 10 villages. In 1982, from the village Salad to Nar, in 36 hours, he traveled to 18 villages. In 1983, just from Badalpur to Anand, he traveled to 13 villages. And in 2003, at the age of 82, in 11 hours, he traveled to 11 villages. Villages that even lacked the basic necessities of life. No light, no electricity, 24 hours load shedding, 24 hours, all day and night. Some villages didn't even have running water. Absolutely no facility. Kashud nahi. But in those villages, Adivasi villages, Swami spent decades. In one day, he would personally sanctify more than 100 homes, 150, 200, 250. In 1976, in one day, Swami personally sanctified 280 homes. Just imagine. And for what? For others. For the joy of others. To uplift others. Once Swami was traveling in a village of Sankri. It's a very poor village. And all the people whose houses Swami visited, not a single person had a concrete home. Not a single person. Every single person lived in a hut. Ek samanya ghar nahi. And when he sanctified a person's house, at that time, the owner of that house, he donated some money. And the money he gave didn't even amount to 1 rupee. Not even 1 rupee. But when the person donated it, he had tears in his eyes. And he prayed to Swami, "Okay, Swami, this is all we have. We can't give anything more." At that time, Pramukh Swami Maharaj said one statement, and every single person standing there was speechless. Why Pramukh Swami Maharaj traveled so much? At that time, Pramukh Swami Maharaj said, "You giving up your addictions is worth more than millions to me." With this sentiment, Pramukh Swami Maharaj traveled to every house, every village, every state, every country. Just imagine in his lifetime, 17,000 villages. Personally sanctifying more than 250,000 homes. Why? Simple. Just to see others happy. Just to inspire others to lead a better life. He inspired hundreds of thousands of people to leave their addictions. Years of addiction. In the village Lodwa, there's a person named Jessa Vardher. Every day he used to spend 300 rupees behind alcohol. And when he would ask his wife for money, his wife would say no. At that time, he would be so angry, he would threaten his wife by hanging his own son upside down in the well. Such was his addiction. But when he met Pramukh Swami Maharaj, he let it go. Markand Bhai from Mumbai, 25 years of addiction, he let it go. By the grace of Pramukh Swami Maharaj. In Ahmedabad, a management professor, Hasmukh Bhai Waghela, he used to teach people who worked at even McDonald's about management. He even came to Saharanpur to give training. 40 years being addicted to cigarettes. He was addicted when he was in the 9th grade. He tried to stop for more than 50 times, failed. But he met Pramukh Swami Maharaj, and Pramukh Swami Maharaj blessed him, he let it go. Countless incidents. He inspired de-addiction campaigns. In May of 2000, 10,000 children participated in a de-addiction campaign. They contacted over 882,000 people. And from those people, more than 312,000 pledged to give up addictions, saving more than 2.5 million rupees per day. Now just think, 312,000 people giving up their addictions. How much better has the entire nation become? How much better has society become? How much cleaner has the entire world become? And that's what Pramukh Swami Maharaj did every moment of his life. And that's why Mansi Maharaj has written, no matter how much money you can give a person, no matter how much honor you give a person, but no one can tolerate the difficulties that Pramukh Swami Maharaj tolerated. Traveling and changing villages every day for 40 years. And that was Pramukh Swami Maharaj's life. You look at the mandirs he's created. We saw in the video, Pramukh Swami Maharaj has built more than 1,200 mandirs. 1,200. Once Prince Philip visited Gandhinagar Akshardham. And as soon as he entered the complex, he was mesmerized. A 23-acre complex. In our Akshardham, the monument, 108 feet tall, 131 feet wide, and 140 feet long. Now in 1971, a group of santos with Swami, Pramukh Swami Maharaj and Sankri were discussing what to do. At that time, Pramukh Swami Maharaj said that we should create a monument as a tribute to Bhagwan Swaminarayan. So we contacted an architect, Suryakant Bhai Patel from Vadodara. He came up with a design. The design was made out of cement and concrete. And everyone liked it. He showed the design to Pramukh Swami Maharaj. Pramukh Swami Maharaj asked one question. How long does a structure made from cement and concrete last? So the architect said, maximum 100 years. At that time, Pramukh Swami Maharaj said, I want to make a structure. I want to create a monument that will exist for thousands of years. So for thousands of years, people can continue to be inspired with positive values. And from this one statement, everything changed. And we made the entire Gandhinagar Akshardham from the best stone. Now when Prince Phillips came, he was expecting to meet Pramukh Sahib Maharaj, because after hearing Pramukh Sahib Maharaj spending so much time, so much effort building such a complex, he thought he would be staying there. Imagine someone building a huge house and not living in it. But he didn't see Pramukh Sahib Maharaj, and so he went back. And then Pramukh Sahib Maharaj went to London, graced at Buckingham Palace, met Prince Phillips. And Prince Phillips said that I came to your Gandhi Akshardham expecting to meet you there, but you weren't there. At that time, Pramukh Sahib Maharaj said that we're constantly traveling. So who is he building the mandirs for? For us, for our children, for society. Now the Nizan Mandir, the first traditionally stone-carved mandir outside of India, in foreign land, was consecrated in 1995. In 1994, Pramukh Sahib Maharaj was in London, and construction was going on. In the middle of construction, Pramukh Sahib Maharaj, he called all the youths and all the children who were working on site, volunteering there, and called everyone to his room. At that time, Pramukh Sahib Maharaj said, I want to tell you something. He said, why are we building this mandir? And he explained, it's so youths and children can live a better life, so they can live a pure life, so our Hindu values are sustained, so our children study hard, they get a good education, they respect their parents, and so in their life, they have devotion, they learn values of service, of humility. That's why we're building this mandir. Every mandir that he's built is for our children and is for us. He used to say, Man sthirta mandir. A mandir is where your mind experiences stability. And that's why this mandir is important. Besides a mandir, find one place where your mind can become stable. Sthirta kya made? Where you can experience inner peace. Where at your business, at university, at college, at your workplace. There's not a single place besides the mandir where a person can experience inner peace, can experience mental stability, Shanti. Find one place outside of this mandir where children are taught values, where children are taught to stay away from addictions, to pray every day, to do puja every day, to respect and bow down to their parents. Find one place. There was a vice chancellor of a very prestigious university. Do you know what he said, Prakash Bhai? He said, even though our university is amazing, we are producing educated monkeys. Educated monkeys. Why? There's an absence of values. Where will our children learn to lead a moral life? Only here. And we can experience it. Hundreds of thousands of children, hundreds of thousands of youths, not only in India but all over the world, born and raised in foreign lands like America, in London, in Africa. But children and youths, even in these lands are submerged in materialistic pleasures, indulging in addictions, drowning in alcohol, in smoking, in every immoral activity there is. But in those lands, those children and youths who are connected to the mandir, they lead a pure life. They do puja every day. Just think. They do tilak chano every day to school. They bow down to their parents every day. They go to the mandir every week. They attend assemblies. They're involved in the mandir activities. They remain vegetarian. They don't even eat eggs. Don't even eat onion and garlic. Now just think, a 6-year-old child in America, when their family goes to a store, his father takes a product from the grocery store, and before he can put in the shopping cart, that 6-year-old child takes the product and reads the ingredients to make sure we can eat it. Why? Because of the mandir. And that's Pramukh Swami Maharaj. Hundreds of thousands. This is our first time in Africa, Sunil Bhai. First time. And for the past month and a half, we've been traveling around to different centers because of the occasion of Pramukh Sahib Maharaj's Shatabdi Mahotsav. In all the centers we've gone to, even in South Africa, we've gone to Mayfair, to Lodium, Pachi Louis Tricard, to Rustenburg. We've even gone to Botswana, to Zimbabwe. But every center, we meet Hari Bhaktas and devotees who tell us that, Swami, if it wasn't for this mandir, we wouldn't even exist today. If it wasn't for this mandir, we would have been long gone in addictions. And they told us a prasang in Lodium, a 26-year-old youth, just 26 years old, he passed away. Why? Because of alcohol. In Mayfair, a Haribhakt told us that when he came in Mayfair in 1995, there were only 2 casinos. Now there's numerous. Every weekend, it's packed. What do they do there? Bhajan? Whatever they earn in the beginning of the week, they spend at the weekend. Back to square one. Back to level 0. And what kind of life is that? But the Hari Bhaktas told us that it's because of this mandir that our lives are saved. And that's why mandir is important, not only in our personal life, it's important in society, in our communities and in this world. Pramukh Sahib Maharaj, he gave the world a gift of santos, initiated more than 1,000 educated youths, people who have graduated from prestigious universities like Harvard, Berkeley, Oxford, people who are doctors, dentists, lawyers, chartered accountants, engineers. Why? More than 1,000 youths have surrendered their entire lives for the joy of others, for the upliftment of society, to spread values, and to spread the teachings of our sacred scriptures, of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, of the Vachnamrit. More than 1,000 santos right now, constantly traveling. Pramukh Sahib Maharaj has celebrated festivals that have changed the world. In 1981, he celebrated the 200th birth celebration year of Bhagwan Swaminarayan, a 37-day-long festival. In 1985, the 200-year celebration of Akshar Brahm Gunatidan Swami, a 59-day-long festival. He celebrated festivals in foreign lands. In 1985 in London, the Cultural Festival of India, more than 1 million people from all over the world visited. You go there, and every single visitor is educated about the history of India, a journey of 5,000 years of Indian civilization. He celebrated in 1991 the Cultural Festival of India in America. More than 2,000 volunteers, 1.2 million visitors, a month-long festival. And there were 3 main exhibitions. One was themed "In the Joy of Others Lies Our Own." And one of them was a beautiful borderless world. And third one, India, a cultural millionaire. Every single person inspired. So his entire life, Pramukh Sahib Maharaj spent for others, inspiring other people. Every festival, every mandir, the Gandhinagar Akshardham, more than 45 million have visited the Akshardham complex. Delhi Akshardham, more than 25 million have visited the Akshardham complex. His existence was for others. And that's why today millions of people have been touched by him. And that's why his 100-year birth celebration is celebrated by the entire world. Every country that Satsang is in, India, America, London, Africa, Australia. Why is it that millions of people are excited to celebrate Pramukh Sahib Maharaj's birth festival? It's because he lived by this sentiment. In the joy of others lies our own. Today, his spiritual successor, Param Puja Mahan Swami Maharaj, at the age of 90, he is still living for the joy of others. At the age of 90, when he has difficulties even walking, difficulty standing, Even then, he still writes letters, inspiring hundreds of thousands of people. He is still building mandirs. Right now, there's approximately 15 major stone Shikharbadh mandirs in the process. The biggest one, Akshardham, being built in Robbinsville, New Jersey, in America. We have one in Johannesburg, one in Abu Dhabi, one in Sydney. And why is he putting in so much effort? Now just think, at the age of 90, just getting up from your bed and going to the bathroom is a project. At the age of 90. But look at the life of Mahant Swami Maharaj. Not a moment of rest. And he is still working hard. All day for the joy of others. Every mandir is for others. Every mandir is for us. He is still giving diksha to yuvaks, to youths, every year. He is still celebrating festivals. Still inspiring people. So santos like Pramukh Swami Maharaj and Mahant Swami Maharaj, they're like the sun. They illuminate the entire world. Now what can we learn from them? We may not be able to become the sun, but we can at least be a small devo, a flame. We can illuminate our own house, our community, our mandir. Try to live by in the joy of others lies our own. Helping out, helping one another, forgiving, forgetting each other's mistakes, being there for one another. And the biggest tribute to Pramukh Swami Maharaj is to live by his teachings. To live a spiritually centered life. To come to this mandir, because remember, this mandir, Pramukh Swami Maharaj sanctified not for him, for us, for our future generations, for our children, for our children's children. So coming to the mandir, doing darshan, participating in the activities, letting go of our addictions, every day doing puja, praying to whoever we believe in. If it's Krishna Bhagwan, praying to Krishna Bhagwan. If you believe in Ram Bhagwan, then pray to Ram Bhagwan. We have faith in Mataji, you pray to Mataji. These murtis are not statues. Pramukh Swami Maharaj said, Aap putrao nathi padravya. They're not statues. They're living God. And they're listening to each and every single of our prayers. So come here and pray. Every day, take some time out to read sacred texts. Just 5 minutes. You read the Srimad Bhagavad Puran. Read the Ramayana and we'll get inspired. Our home will change. The atmosphere will change. Read the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, a sacred text that has eternal principles. And if we start imbibing by those, then even we can live a peaceful life. Just 5 minutes, read the Vaishnavamrita, the teachings of Bhagavan Swaminarayan, and our life will change. But that's the greatest lesson we can learn by living a spiritually centered life. So today, once again, I thank the Saptah Mandir for inviting us. It's truly a pleasure, and we're honored. Amara bhagya se, amne labh madyo, pujari, that we were able to come here on the sacred land in the sacred mandir. And today, we pray to Bhagavan Swaminarayan. We also pray at the feet of Krishna Bhagwan and of Ram Bhagwan and of all the divine incarnations. We also pray to our Guru, Param Puja Pramukh Swami Maharaj and Param Puja Mahant Swami Maharaj. Every single person sitting here, we can all experience peace and prosperity in our life. We pray that every day our faith in Bhagwan increases. Every day our unity increases because we are one family. Vasudeva Kutumbakam. And the Upanishads teach us, Vayam Amrutasya Putraha. We're the children of Bhagwan. We all have the same mother and father. And that's why we're all one. So today we pray that our unity and harmony increases and that we can live a life that is worthwhile and please Bhagwan and the Satpurush. Shri Swaminarayan Bhagwan Ni Jai.
Thank you, Pujya Dharmasvetutar Swami, for those really inspirational words. They were wonderful. I'd like to now call upon Harnish Bhai to address.
Namaste, Jai Swaminarayan and Jai Sri Krishna to all. Pelam pelu to mane, I'd like to thank Sunil Bhai, Jayesh Bhai, whom I've never met. I've only dealt with the old veteran, I call it. You know, like a Tendulkar of this mandir, Prakash Bhai. And I must say, when I phoned him and I said, look, we would like to have pay a tribute to Guru Pramukh Swami Maharaj at Saptah Mandir, I think he kene ke nana chokra ne chocolate apo to su kare. He grabbed the opportunity in two texts. I think mane ek be reason enu khabar છે અને આજની સભા today's gathering માં એમ મને feeling આવે છે પણ પહેલાં પેલું તો પ્રકાશભાઈ કેમ grab કરી લીધું કે it shows that the respect they have for Pramukh Swami Maharaj. He knew him personally, he has interactions with Pramukh Swami Maharaj personally, and the respect that he had and the Saptah Mandir has for Pramukh Swami Maharaj. Secondly, from the feeling that I have, and I can say that really, Pramukh Swamiji Maharaj wanted a tribute sabha in this mandir, because it is his mandir as well. You know, he didn't just come, throw the flower petals and gone. That was not Pramukh Swami, and that is not Pramukh Swami. He still lives on, and he is here as well in this present sabha, and I can vouch for that. That's the feeling I had today. Thank you very much. I'm actually did what more than I should have been doing. અહીંયા આગળ મારે આપણે Johannesburgમાં and around the world, we are celebrating Pramukh Swami Maharaj's centenary in a big way with pomp and glory. And Prakash Bhai has just been to London, and he will vouch for it. And at this current moment in time, London is celebrating Pramukh Swami Maharaj's centenary in a big way. So every centers around Africa, every countries, major cities in South Africa, in Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, in Africa, we are doing the same. We are creating a nagar. Unfortunately, it's going to be happening, or fortunately, it's going to happen in Johannesburg and not in Durban. But in Nagarma, we got a lot of facilities in order to celebrate Pramukh Swami Maharaj's life. He was an all-rounder. જેને નાના છોકરાઓથી માંડીને વડીલોનું ધ્યાન રાખ્યું છે, એન્ટરટેઇનમેન્ટમાં ધ્યાન રાખ્યું છે, મ્યુઝિકમાં ધ્યાન રાખ્યું છે, સંતોના ને છોકરાઓમાં બધી રીતે પ્રમુખ સ્વામી મહારાજ inspired every individual. So this is depicting his wholeness, or holistically, આપણો જે approach છે ને is a holistical approach to celebrate Pramukh Swami Maharaj centenary. અને you will see on the screen, it may be not readable, but basically ત્યાં આગળ જાતનું ને ભાતનું પહેલું તો ટેસ્ટ ઓફ ઇન્ડિયા, બધાને ખાવાનામાં બહુ ઇન્ટરેસ્ટ હોય, મારાને તો ખાસ મને તો રાઈટ, એટલે ટેસ્ટ ઓફ ઇન્ડિયા. પછી wow, congratulations. Thank you. So there you are. You know, Saptah Mandir is being represented very nicely. Basically, there will be a 6-foot tall murti of Pramukh Swami Maharaj. And ત્યાં Maha Aarti every day Thursday, you know. And basically, the festival dates are from 5th of October to the 16th of October. And there are 2 weekends. So, guys, ભાઈઓ અને બહેનો, આપણે ત્યાં આગળ જઈએ, વીકેન્ડમાં કાઢીએ અને ખૂબ મજા આવશે. અને બાળકોનું તો સ્પેશિયલ there is a play area, an interactive play area. અને I warn you guys કે તમારા જો છોકરાઓને ત્યાં લઈ જશો ને, તો I don't think so they're going to come out of that place. That's how good it's going to be. And there will be plays, પછી ભજન્સ, live bhajans, kirtans, and all sorts of other activities are going to be on that particular ground. And that's going to be happening at the what they call it, Wanderers Rugby Club, Wanderers Stadium ni bajuમાં જ છે, and it's a good location, and I'm sure we will really enjoy. So I'm personally inviting on behalf of BAPS South Africa કે બધા ત્યાં પધારજો અને આનો જે મોકો છે ને એ છોડતા નહીં. That's important. Second major announcement that I want to do, as we all said and we heard from Swami and also Prakash Bhai, that Pramukh Swami Maharaj never could see anyone suffering, not anyone, any creature, being a guy hoy, bhens hoy, nanu, even a small makodo ke, apade Gujarati ma makodo ke, but a big ant, you know, even if it's coming in the way ke makodo bhai jara khaso em karine am side ma, he can never see any creature being hurt or suffering. Ena mate, as we all know in Tonga, since the last floods in April, it's been what, 90 days now? They haven't had water. So what we did, ke apne bapana name, we are actually opening a Tyagar apne Chinna Tirupati Venkateshwara Devasthanam. એ ત્યાં બેલ્વેડ્રિયર ડ્રાઈવમાં ત્યાં એક આ મંદિર છે, બહુ સરસ મંદિર છે. And so ત્યાં we are doing an opening and handing dedication ceremony. We have already done a borehole there, and we have already created the Jojo tanks there. And those Jojo tanks will be connected to the roadside as well, both sides, because the mandir is in the middle and there's two roadsides. On both sides, there will be taps opening for public to draw water. Now, water at the moment is worth more than gold or diamonds. And you can see in that particular area. And આપણે ત્યાં એક દિવસ નળના મારે જ થયું હતું, આજે રાતે જ નહોતું પાણી, અને હું તો તરફડતો હતો, હવે શું કરશું? They haven't had it for 90 days. So we have, in the name of Pramukh Swami Maharaj, we are actually doing an opening ceremony next week. હું તમને મોકલાવીશ invitation. Please send your representatives. And the other thing, the cherry on the top is a Puja Narayan Charan Swami, who you have probably seen him on the video now, who was the personal sevak of Pramukh Swami Maharaj for almost more than 30 years. He is coming next week. And by his hand, we're going to dedicate this whole project at this mandir in Tonga. So please, tame padharjo. It's in the morning from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. So savarna છે on the 7th of August, right? That's the one thing. અને બીજું કે આવી રીતના 6 સંતો જેમ આજે આવ્યા છે બે, એવા we getting 6 સંતોસ on next Friday, 5th, 6th and 7th. 5th and 6th, 2 nights જ છે આપણી પાસે. અને you will have a very good katha varta. અને એમાંના એક તો છે જંગલ મંગલ સ્વામી. He speaks real good Kathiyawadi, and he will, I think, don't come and eat and come. Go empty, otherwise you're going to take all the food out. That's how much he is hilarious, you know. So you'll really enjoy his kathas. So please do come. Evening na program che. Friday it's 5th na 7th p.m. to 8:30, quarter to 9 p.m. ત્યાં મહાપ્રસાદ છે, એટલે ઘરે કિચન બંધ કરજો, ત્યાં આવીને જમજો. અને similarly on the 6th, which is Saturday as well. Say Swaminarayan Bhagwan. Sorry, I've taken a few minutes more. Yes, Swaminarayan.
Thank you, Harnish Bhai. We'll now go to Aarti. Okay. Swamiji will sing on this.
નારાયણ 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 વસે છે નારાયણ સ્વરૂપ સંતમાં નારાયણ વસે છે નારાયણ સ્વરૂપ સંતમાં નારાયણ વસે છે નારાયણ સ્વરૂપ સંતમાં નારાયણ વસે છે નારાયણ સંતમાં કરવા કલ્યાણ અનંત જીવોનું જગતમાં કરવા કલ્યાણ અનંત જીવોનું જગતમાં નારાયણ વસે છે ઓ નારાયણ વસે છે નારાયણ સ્વરૂપ સંતમાં નારાયણ વસે છે નારાયણ સ્વરૂપ સંતમાં દુખિયા છે જીવયાનિક જન્મના પાપથી દુખિયા છે જીવયાનિક જન્મના પાપથી અંતર તપે છે જેના વિવિધ તાપથી અંતર તપે છે જેના વિવિધ તાપથી સુખિયા કરે છે સ્વામી સુખિયા કરે છે સ્વામી સજ સત્સંગમાં સુખિયા કરે છે સ્વામી સહજ સત્સંગમાં નારાયણ વસે છે ઓ નારાયણ વસે છે નારાયણ સ્વરૂપ સંતમાં સ્વરૂપે પ્રભુ પ્રગટ બિરાજે સંત સ્વરૂપે પ્રભુ પ્રગટ બિરાજે ભક્તોના કોડ પૂરા કરે છે આજે ભક્તોના કોડ પૂરા કરે છે આજે દિવ્ય દર્શન દેવા દિવ્ય દર્શન દેવા વિચરે સંસારમાં દિવ્ય દર્શન દેવા વિચરે સંસારમાં નારાયણ વસે છે ઓ નારાયણ વસે છે નારાયણ સ્વરૂપ સંતમાં નારાયણ વસે છે નારાયણ સ્વરૂપ સંતમાં ધર્મનો પોષણ થાય એકાંતિક સંતથી. ધર્મનો પોષણ થાય એકાંતિક સંતથી. મોક્ષનો દ્વાર મળે સંતના પ્રસંગથી. મોક્ષનો દ્વાર મળે સંતના પ્રસંગથી. વનમાળી દાસ રહેવું, વનમાળી દાસ રહેવું સંતના ચરણમાં. વનમાળી દાસ રહેવું સંતના ચરણમાં. નારાયણ વસે છે, ઓ નારાયણ વસે છે, નારાયણ સ્વરૂપ સંતમાં. નારાયણ 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 વસે છે, ઓ નારાયણ વસે છે, નારાયણ સ્વરૂપ સંતમાં. નારાયણ વસે છે, નારાયણ સ્વરૂપ સંતમાં. નારાયણ વસે છે, ઓ નારાયણ વસે છે, ઓ નારાયણ વસે છે, નારાયણ સ્વરૂપ સંતમાં.
ओम जय जगदीश हरे प्रभु जय जगदीश हरे भक्त जनों के संकट दास जनों के संकट करने दूर
करुणे किसकी तुम पूर्ण परमात्मा तुम अंतर्यामी प्रभु तुम अंतर्यामी पाण ब्रह्म परमेश्वर पाण ब्रह्म परमेश्वर तुम सबके स्वामी तुम करुणा के सागर तुम पालन करता प्रभु तुम पालन करता मैं बालक अज्ञानी मैं बालक अज्ञानी पिता करो भरता तुम हो एक अगोचर सबके प्राणपति प्रभु सबके प्राणपति इस विध दयामय इस विध दयामय तुमको मैं तुमकी बंधु दुख हरता रक्षक तुम मेरे प्रभु रक्षक तुम मेरे करुणा हस्त बढ़ाओ करुणा हस्त बढ़ाओ शरण पड़ा देवा ओम जय जगदीश हरे विषय विकार मिटाओ पाप हरो देवा प्रभु पाप हरो देवा श्रद्धा भक्ति बढ़ाओ श्रद्धा भक्ति बढ़ाओ संतन की सेवा ओम जय जगदीश हरे ओम जय जगदीश हरे प्रभु जय जगदीश हरे भक्त जनों के संकट दास जनों के संकट क्षण में दूर कर ओम जय जगदीश हरे कर्पूर गौरम करुणावतारम संसार सारम भुजगेन्द्रहारम सदा वसन्तं हृदयारविन्दे भवन् भवानी सहितं नमामि मङ्गलं भगवान् विष्णु मङ्गलं गरुडध्वज मङ्गलं पुण्डरीकाक्ष मङ्गलाय तनूहरि सर्वे मङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये शिवे सवाद साधिके शरणे त्र्यंबके गौरी नारायणी नमोस्तुते नारायणी नमोस्तुते नारायणी नमोस्तुते
રણછોડ રાય કી જય. જટપટ જમવા આવો જસોદાના બાપ.
ચટપટ જમવા આવો જસોદાના બાપ. નટકટ નહીં વાર લગાડો નંદલાલ.
નટકટ નહીં વાર લગાડો નંદલાલ.
ઓ ઝટપટ જમવા આવો જસોદાના બાપ.
ઝટપટ જમવા આવો જસોદાના બાપ.
પ્રેમની પતવાળી મેં તો પીરસી છે.
પ્રેમની પતરાળી મેં તો પીરસી છે.
પ્રેમની પતવાળી મેં તો પીરસી છે.
પ્રેમની પતરાળી મેં તો પીરસી છે.
ભાવના ભોજન તૈયાર.
ભવના ભોજન તૈયાર.
ઓ ઝટપટ જમવા આવો જસોદાના બાપ.
ઓ ઝટપટ જમવા આવો જસોદાના બાપ.
કેળા પપૈયાને કેરી રૂપાળી.
કેળા પપૈયાને કેરી રૂપાળી.
કેળા પપૈયાને કેરી રૂપાળી.
કેળા પપૈયાને કેરી રૂપાળી.
દાડમને વળી દ્રાક્ષ.
દાડમને વળી દ્રાક્ષ.
ઓ ઝટપટ જમવા આવો જસોદાના બાપ.
ઓ ઝટપટ જમવા આવો જસોદાના બાપ.
કેસરિયા દૂધનો કર્યો એક કટોરો.
કેસરિયા દૂધનો ભર્યો રે કઠોરો.
કેસરિયા દૂધનો ભર્યો રે કટોરો.
કેસરિયા દૂધનો ભર્યો રે કઠોરો.
પ્રેમે પીજો મહારાજ.
પ્રેમે પીજો મહારાજ.
ઓ ઝટપટ જમવા આવો જસોદાના બાળ.
ઓ ઝટપટ જમવા આવો જસોદાના બાપ.
જમના જળનું અચમન લેજો.
જમના જળનું અચમન લેજો.
જમના જળનું અચમન લેજો.
જમના જળનું અચમન લેજો.
સાથે લેજો મુખવાસ.
સાથે લેજો મુખવા.
ઓ ઝટપટ જમવા આવો જસોદાના બાળ.
ઝટપટ જમવા આવો જસોદાના બાળ.
રમ ભક્ત મન આનંદ અનેરો.
રામ ભક્ત મન આનંદ નેરો.
રમ ભક્ત મન આનંદ અનેરો.
રામ ભક્ત મન આનંદ નેરો.
ધન્ય દિવસ છે આજ.
ધન્ય દિવસ છે આ.
ઝટપટ જમવા આવો જસોદાના બાળ.
હો ઝટપટ જમવા આવો જસોદાના બાળ.
બોલો કૃષ્ણ કનૈયા લાલ.
લાલ કી જય.
Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Swami Narayan. On behalf of our managing committee, we place on record our sincere thanks and appreciation to the members of BAPS for giving us this opportunity to host this wonderful program. It is indeed an honor and privilege for us. The talk by Puja Dharmasetu Das Swami was nothing short of awe-inspiring. The vibrant bhajans by Puja Tyagmurti Das Swami has spiritually charged Saptah Mandir today. Thank you. Thanks to Harnish Bhai Patel and your committee members for helping us coordinate today's program, along with our Prakash Tulab. We also thank members of our management committee for assisting and supporting today's function. Thanks also to the many helpers that have assisted here today. A special thanks to our cooking team for preparing the Sattvic snacks that we're going to enjoy shortly. Thank you, Pandit Kanaya Bhai, for performing the praise segment. Please take note of our forthcoming events. 17th annual anniversary of our Mandir in Reservoir Hills on the 9th of August. Akaran Kirtan Saptah from 12th to 19th of August. Rath Yatra on the 28th of August. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for attending today's function. Snacks have been provided at the hall downstairs. Everyone present here is requested to please join us. Aarti, Panjamrit, and Prasad will be distributed in the foyer outside. Namaste, Jai Swami Narayan.